Hello friends, in this particular presentation we'll try to see something about the process of clearing. So clearing is a process through which you actually transfer funds from one party to another party using an instrument called as check. Now you see check is an instrument which is defined under Negotiable Instrument Act. Now it is negotiable in nature, hence it can transfer from one person to another person. Now you see when a buyer is paying something to a seller in the form of a check, you see seller will deposit this check with their bank. Now, seller's bank will present this check through clearing to the like drawer's bank. So it is actually a process which is called as the clearing process. So how you get your funds is through clearing. You get your funds retrieved. Okay. You can see in this image there is a check in discussion. Now, how does clearing works? So, clearing house actually ensures it that the party who is issuing this check should have sufficient balance in account, and if balance is not there, this check should be returned back to the concerned party, so that needful communication and legal action can be taken as per the situation. Second, the transaction detailed records are available with clearing house. Now, clearing house is accountable for these things. Okay. Next, funds are kept on behalf of different banks with clearing house. So you have to open, you see, as a banker, let me take you to a clearing house virtually. Okay, what clearing house is a place, is a marketplace where all bankers will come in face to face to each other. And then you see, if some bank has to take it from some other bank, they'll take it. If they have to pay it to someone, they'll pay it. So collecting and paying, both things will happen simultaneously in clearing house. Okay, you use clearing schedule. So it is actually a process of accounting and recording the transactions. If it is a debit transaction, you mention on the left side. If it is a credit transaction, you mention on the right side of your credit this particular ledger. Okay, now ultimately point is like all banks have to keep their balance with clearinghouse. What is this ensuring is like that clearinghouse do have sufficient amount of funds with them for the completion of transaction. If something goes wrong, any discrepancies are found, they can be very easily checked, and reconciliation of bank account is done on almost weekly basis or daily basis. Funds which are cleared, they are given to the presenting bank. You see, the funds are cleared and the security is delivered to buyer. Here it is like security means what? Security is nothing but it is the amount of money which is kept with clearinghouse will be transferred to the concerned collecting banker. Okay, so paying banker, yani the bank who is supposed to pay it, their account will be debited. The bank who is supposed to receive it, their account will be credited. So amount is kept in your bank account only. Debit credit entries are posted. So accordingly, if you like you need something, you can withdraw your amount. So there are multiple parties involved. Here the discussion is somewhat in line to stock market clearing process, but you need to take it in line to your banking transactions. So in banks, you see customer, let's say I'm giving you a check, I'm a customer, I'm giving a check to a banker, so you will be sending it through clearinghouse to the other concerned party. Now you see earlier it was physical model, now it is all virtual model. So no more physical checks are supposed to be sent. So it is basically an image of a check is to be sent. Just for ease purpose, you need to understand clearing is a process. Earlier it was physical, which was T+2. So it requires minimum 2 days of time to get a check cleared. If it is a local clearing check, if it is an outstation check, you see, you'll understand outstation check in some time from now when we'll be taking that particular presentation. You see, outstation check is a check which is not in your local clearing zone, so it has to be collected from a different clearing zone. So for that you have to send this check through courier to the respective clearing zone. Okay, to to your own bank having a branch in that zone, or to some other facilitating or negotiating bank in between. Okay, so that they help you in this collection process. Now you see, this is how clearing functions. Now this is one image that I've got from Google, but you see, point is like this is not your current day scenario. But for your understanding, you need to understand that you see, when you are putting up your check with your banker, and this check is for collection, and you have to receive this money from another party to whom you have sold your goods. You see, this check from your bank will go to clearinghouse. From clearinghouse, it will go to the buyer's bank, where buyer's bank will verify whether buyer do have some amount in account or not. If amount is available in account, that amount will be debited and money will be sent back to clearinghouse. Clearinghouse will remit that money to our bank. Our bank, after verification that it is not getting dishonored, thorough verification and documentation, they'll credit the amount into my account. So it was taking T plus 2 days. But now, because of image based banking that we have, things have drastically changed a lot. And you need not to wait for 2 days. It is very faster. Now it is very faster. Efficiency is brought in into system. Now let's see something on realization of local and outstation checks. Now realization means, let's say I gave a check to my bank, when this amount is going to be credited to my account is what means with this term called as realization of a check. Okay, if it is a local check, you see, need to understand one thing: there is a check collection policy of every bank. Okay, so with whatever bank you're dealing with, you can get this check collection policy on the website. The check collection policy will clearly demarcates, will tell you the timeline in which you're going to get your reimbursement done. If it is a local check, usually it is in a single day or maybe maximum 2T+1. Okay, but when it is an outstation check, it again depends on which city are you sending this check. Okay, it may vary. And if your standard timeline is breached, okay, and there is a delay in crediting your amount into your account even after the completion of the standard reasonable period, you see, you can ask for compensation. Now again, the compensation amount or the rate of at which compensation is to be calculated and paid by collecting banker will be mentioned in your check collection policy. Okay, so in case no rate is mentioned, let's say they have not given this clause in their policy, then what you need to understand is like local checks will be paid a compensation as per saving bank interest rate. Okay, so you can get saving bank interest. This is something new. And then when it is an outstation check means, let's say we have a check. This check is drawn on Punjab National Bank Chennai branch. This check is not a payable at par check, so we need to first send it to Chennai to PNB for collection. You see, it cannot be encashed in Fagwada PNB because drawer is very clearly mentioned. No, sorry, DROI means the facilitating bank is Chennai only. It is not a payable at par or anywhere banking check. Hence, there is a problem. So we need to send it by courier to Chennai first. They'll present, maybe, let's say I'm South Indian Bank. I have to send it to South Indian Bank Chennai branch. There may be many branches, but I have to select one service branch, and then that service branch will put this check as an agent to me into their local clearing. Will collect the dues. It may take T+1, and once they get the funds on my behalf, they have to make a, like, they may be remitting it to me through like, you see, nowadays we have e-banking, so they will simply remit it very fast. But if it is like, if I'm sending it, not because maybe a possibility that I don't have a branch in Chennai, my bank don't have a branch in Chennai, then I have to send it to, let's say I'm sending it to SBI. So SBI may take some time. Sending it to clearing house, it may take a couple of days. Then making a demand draft and sending it back to Fagwada South Indian Bank, it may take time. Okay, so depending on your city where you're dealing with, depending on your location, depending on whether it is a state capital or a normal city, you see, we have timelines of 7, 10, and 14 days. In case your timeline is again going to exceed here, penalty is little bit more harsh for bankers. Okay, compensation will be paid not at saving account rate, which is 3 to 3.5%, 2.5 to 3%. Here compensation is paid according to FD interest rate on FD deposit account for the corresponding maturity period. Okay, Samjo, please understand, if it is a 7-day delay, you will be checking FD rate for 7 days, and accordingly compensation will be paid to the client if there is a delay in crediting the amount in the account. Now we have discussed clearinghouse. Clearinghouse is an independent, neutral body. Will make sure that money is being there in circulation, and then is all banks are adhering to the timelines, guidelines. They are settling the transactions as per the actual status, and no delays there. Now you see, with this, you see, if you go to clearinghouse, what do you think? Why clearinghouse is helping you in this? You are getting your check payment, the other party is getting his account debited. You may have your interest, the other bank may have their interest, but what is clearinghouse getting out of it? So it may be a fee or a charge, which is annual, monthly rental or annual rental, which clearinghouse, leading clearinghouse in that, leading bank in that area who is running this clearinghouse will be charging from other member banks. I tell you, when I was in Chandigarh, even though you have RBI Reserve Bank of India office, but PNB is taking care for your clearing. So PNB was scheduling this clearing house proceedings in a location in Sector 17C, Chandigarh. Okay, this was a big premises. 17 was your major location in Chandigarh, so rental value will be very high. So let's say this premises rent is rupee 10 lakh rupee per month. So what was happening is like every member bank, so approximately 50 to 60 banks were there, so every member bank was paying some monthly rental. Okay, so that PNB is able to recover not only the rental cost but also the staff deputed on this clearinghouse, their cost also. Okay, so you have to pay a fixed amount of money for this clearing. So rent 10 lakh may not be there, but still 1 lakh is huge amount. So every bank has to spend some 7 to 10,000 rupees per month for this clearinghouse function. But now you see, uh, uh, most of the things have gone digital. So this expense of going to clearinghouse, coming back from clearinghouse has been reduced tremendously, because earlier it was 3 times you were supposed to go. Now due to digital platform, things are data is getting updated through service branch only. So checks need not to go to these checks need not to travel from one place to another place. Okay, they are kept at a central depository. So they are kept at a central custodian point. So that if there is any problem in future, we can simply consult the check from the repository and can see the final settlement of the check. Now you see, this is the latest check truncation system. Check truncation system was introduced in the year 2000. Okay, and then you see here in this image you can see outward checks, inward checks, outward clearing, inward clearing. So these are some names which are given. Now you see here, now you need to understand. Let's say you're using a software is like, let's say, let's make it very easy. You all must be having some Gmail account, huh? Some email accounts must be there. Let's say we all are using Gmail account, and we do have a common, let's say for this group who is watching this video, we have created a common Gmail account. Gmail account means, let's say it is Anup underscore Mohanty at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and the password is 123456. Now it is commonly known to all of us. Let's say I, being a moderator of this session, I'll upload some of the PPTs in this mailbox. What will happen is, like, if I'm uploading it on this mailbox, like into my Google Drive, any one of you who is having the user ID and password of this particular mail account, you can download this thing. So on one side I'm uploading, on the other side you're downloading it. How much time will it take? Let's say I'm sitting in Chandigarh, you're sitting in Chennai, Dehradun, Bangalore, Pune, at different places altogether. You see, right now what we are doing is like, it is very fast, process is very fast. And where you see, you may sit anywhere. During COVID, during online classes, what was happening is like, students were scattered all across India. Teachers were uploading assignments from one place and students were able to download it, and after processing the assignment, they were again been able to upload the assignment and teacher was able to download it. So same process is there. You see, if I am uploading an image which you can check at your place, so you see, physical check transit may take time, may involve cost, but here now we don't need to send it to anyone. We'll be sending it only when there is a area of concern, there is a matter of dispute or something else. Okay, something serious. So this is what is digital platform has brought in into your banking. It has cut down your costs, it has cut down your time and efforts required, it has increased your efficiency. Now customer is able to get the funds on the same day. If it is a high value clearing, you'll be able to get it on the same day. You need not to wait for T+1 or 2. Okay, this is what is a efficient system in place. Let's proceed further. Now you see, this session was all about clearing, inward clearing, outward clearing. Let me give you some brief on inward and outward clearing. Inward clearing is going to have a debit, will have a negative effect on your cash holding. Whereas if it is an outward clearing is sent for collection, so you're going to get some money for it. Okay, inward clearing is debit, it leads to outflow, but outward clearing is going to be a credit, will leads to an inflow. Okay, this thing should be there in your mind. Return house is a place, it is actually a clearing house place where banks can return the checks if there is a dishonor in any, like if there is a check getting dishonored due to some reason, you can return it back to your counterparty in return house. Okay, with this, let me end this session. Good day.